Hello children. Today we're out in the beautiful but endangered Florida scrub habitat, home to so many animal species that can be found nowhere else in the world. Lots of common species, but also lots of rare ones, so let's see how many kinds we could find here. Cute brown anoles and southern marbled grasshoppers were just a few of the very common species that we stumble across a lot in this habitat. But finally we came across a species that I had never gotten up close to look at before, the Olympic scrub cicada. This species is very particular in the kind of habitats they live in, which are scrubs, and are very similar to the very closely related Atlantic saltmarsh cicada, which prefers more coastal and wet habitats. Unlike the famous brood X cicadas, the Olympic scrub cicada is just an annual, but still has some very interesting color patterns with some red colors, black, greens, and yellows. Cicadas are a member of the order Hemiptera, which are the true bugs and hoppers, and members of that group have a retractable proboscis that they keep tucked underneath their belly. They also have wings that neatly overlap on top of one another. I have no clue why it's called the Olympic scrub cicada, although it might have to be with the fact that its flight season is from June to September, which is around the time that the Olympics are. So if you remember from the recent video that I did with the Wildlife Brothers that I said I had never seen a bar-winged skimmer while comparing it to this lady skimmer, here's a bar-winged skimmer. I, not too long after recording that video, got it on my life list. So finally I could have a good comparison between the two species' facial features. You could see the white borders of the face on the bar-winged skimmer. This right here was my lifer, Florida Argiope. Argiopes are one of my favorite spider genera because of their amazing webs and color patterns. You can see this one has the stripes on the abdomen going vertically, which is a great identification feature for the Florida Argiope. It's very similar to the silver Argiope in terms of the colors, but the pattern is completely different. Right after I take a couple more pictures of this guy, I'm going to put it back on the web, and once it gets on the web, you can see how it orients itself, putting its legs up into 4 different corners, forming its body into an X shape, almost perfectly matching with the shape of the web itself. Another exciting lifer catch was this rusty bird grasshopper. Bird grasshoppers, especially the winged adults, are very tough grasshoppers to catch because they're large but also streamlined and very fast jumpers and flyers. But these few bushes right here were full of rusty bird grasshoppers, so I was bound to catch at least one, and I actually was able to catch this winged adult. These guys can be identified by the tiny little black and white spots all around the body. And while this individual right here was a younger individual without the wings, so slightly easier to catch, it stayed still for me longer, so you could actually see the distinctive spotting pattern all around the body. It's not a pattern that you could see from a very long distance away, but once you get a close look at it, you can see the tiny black and white spots. This huge beetle right here is a larger and stronger relative to the tiger beetles, called a warrior beetle. While these guys have an incredibly strong bite force that I'm about to show to you, these are absolutely not a beetle to be afraid of, as they live almost entirely on the ground and are very shy and will often move away from you. So there's no need to worry, those huge pairs of jaws are not out to get you at all, not out to hurt you or bite you or anything. The reason I'm going to let this bite me is because I feel like stag beetles tend to get all the attention, and I don't think anyone has ever done a warrior beetle bite before, and they're called a warrior beetle for a reason, I guess. Just look at those beautiful mandibles.
Ah! That hurts a lot.
This might not look too bad, but it really hurt when it was happening. This is the bite that warrior beetle left on my finger. It's It's still pretty red and it hurts a little bit to the touch still.